This is a certified hood classic.
Aww.
All rise, order in the court. Happy Monday. It is time for We Got a Case. Mikey and I got the memo that today's Red Day.
It's just the way it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with before the show, I went through I got a new ritual. I make sure I've taken my allergy pill. I put eye drops in my eyes. I do the nose spray, and I'm ready to go.
Oh, God.
Allergies are terrible around here right now. It is
I
awful.
know. No, it's bad. The thing that's frightening for me is when I'm outside with the phone for 2 seconds and all I see is pollen across it. Quick question before we get into court. If you come across a bag that you forgot that you had when you went to Florida over Christmas,
Yeah.
And you found great value brand unopened hamburger buns, what would you expect them to look like?
They should be totally green,
right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh well, those are perfectly good then. You can eat those.
I mean, there's one that's a little bit colored. Rest of them just perfect.
December. Perfectly delicious too, I'm sure.
They went out of date December 23rd.
Yeah. By the way, if there's a lot of noise or hear my dog barking, they are in the middle of paving the entire street in front of my house.
Very nice.
So they done their patch stuff the other day, and now they're putting a whole new street down. So
fun.
Please excuse the noise if you hear it.
Hope it doesn't rain.
It doesn't. It hasn't rained here. It hasn't rained here in a month. That's why the pollen's so bad.
Ugh. Hope everybody had a good weekend. St. Patrick's Day. I, of course, stayed home.
I cut grass. I went outside, enjoyed the day outside.
My entire neighborhood just smells of green scallions, I guess they call them, which I love so much.
Yeah, that's what it smells around here, too. Got all the grass cut, sprayed for the bugs, put down the Roundup. It was nice. It was nice to get out. I like to be able to listen. The best part about it is I can put on my headphones, listen to music nonstop, uninterrupted. Nobody will bother me and be like, hey, you need help out here? No, nobody will even bother me. I was outside 2.5 hours yesterday, not a soul said a word.
Oh, for car show, that's fun.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
Right. No, I sat and watched the race, did a little gambling. That was it. I did stuff around the house, though, not outside. It's a beautiful day indoors.
Beautiful day of indoor activities.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, much.
I, too, like the Super.
I heard there's a huge settlement, so... I've got that. I look at that as retirement.
That and new thing that's popping up on my Facebook is for some reason weighted food from a lawsuit for weighted food from Walmart. Like the stuff that you get in the plastic tubs that I guess there's a class action lawsuit for. Obviously.
Well, I could understand that because I had done my, I ordered from Walmart.
Yeah.
I did an order last night, so it'd be here at 9:00 in the morning. It arrives right on time. I go outside and start picking it up. I'm like, I don't remember ordering frozen pizzas. None of it's mine.
Oh,
none of it. It doesn't even have my name on it. It has somebody else's name on it.
They let you keep it all for free and bring you your groceries? Or?
They said I could keep it, but I was like, well, this has got like little kids' medicine in here too. I feel like the people that need this probably need this. And they came back and got it. Mine was missing in action, so I got a refund for the entire thing and then reordered it.
Well,
so somebody got it.
Did you get any children's Claritin? If you did, send it on over. The chewable one, only the purples, please.
This was liquid.
Yeah, no, it was a good race. Good racing all weekend. The race yesterday where Goodyear kind of effed up this new tire. It was a nail biter. I mean, it was crazy. It was an absolute shit show from the beginning. Even practicing qualifying. Too much tire wear. There was just rubber everywhere and tires blowing out and cars going really slow, and cars like weaving in and out, going a million miles an hour. It was pretty crazy. Just something you don't see every day. Anyways, we are here for court. Did somebody get their wang out? I believe is.
Oh, I agree. No spoilers. No spoilers. We'll see. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Griggsy's been in this situation before. He knows what we're talking about. We're heading to the Detroit area for some first appearances, and well, appearances aren't good. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
And Detective Halas, how are you?
Good. How about yourself, Your Honor?
Doing good.
Oh no, Robert.
You ready to do the swear to?
Yes, sir.
All right, this will be case 82-24-705-757.
Poor Robert.
He's okay.
Robert William Baskin, your name for the record, please.
Detective
Heir
John.
to the Baskin Robbins fortune.
And you
Yes.
swear or affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true.
I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
Personal knowledge.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
On 315, at about 3:59 in the afternoon, officers responded to 32119 Genesee Court. Upon arrival, they made contact with the victim. The victim explained that Robert Baskin's pit bull had gotten out and was chasing their children around. The children are 10 and 4, or 10 and 5, I'm sorry. The victim went out and confronted Mr. Baskins, which turned into a verbal argument. Mr. Baskin then produced a handgun and pointed it at the victim. Mr. Baskins does not have a valid CPL. Mr. Baskins then left the scene in his vehicle and returned a short time later with officers on scene. Mr. Baskins was taken in custody for the FA. During a search of the vehicle, they located his pistol in the center console.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant. Mr. Baskin, your name for the record, please.
Robert William Baskin.
I wonder if he's in for the same thing that Grotto was in the ER all weekend for.
What was? I don't know. I don't remember what Grotto was in there for.
Yeah.
Exhaustion or something.
Come to find out, he hadn't slept but 4 hours for a few nights. So,
No,
sorry, Grotto.
that's not good. So Mr. Baskins is the perpetrator here.
Yeah,
I don't know how he ended up in the hospital. Maybe it was a resistant or something went on, but not good to pull a pew pew on people that are upset that your pit bulls are chasing their youngins.
Thank you, John.
Jen, how are you?
Thank you, sir. And counsel.
Your Honor, may it please the court, break it on
This
behalf
guy.
of Mr. Baskin, waive the formal reading stamp. He has been advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Judge, my client's 55, no prior criminal history. He works every day, all tech transmission, has 6 kids altogether, lives with 3 with his wife. Judge, I think that this is a isolated incident. I don't know the total nature of the circumstances. I don't know how this argument escalated per se. I do understand what the allegations are. Always important to keep whatever dog you have, on a leash or either encompassed within a fence so that the dog doesn't get out. I know that things happen sometimes. I'm glad no one was hurt by the dog whatsoever. I know an argument ensued. Don't know what the gist of it was. I know the allegations that my client pulled a gun. I explained to my client he's to not have any guns or even illegal weapons while this matter is pending. Doesn't seem to be an ongoing situation with the neighbors, Judge, from what he tells me. This might have been a one-time situation. So I'm asking the court with certain bond conditions to give him a personal bond. Again, no guns or illegal weapons, and not to have contact with the neighbors while the matter is pending, Judge.
Your Honor, the pew pew belongs to the
I mean,
dog.
Yes.
We start off with a loose dog, and somehow this escalates into pulling guns on children. I mean, it's outside of it's outside of bounds of normalcy. Detective, do you have any knowledge of this being any kind of ongoing thing with the neighbors, or what's your thought?
Your Honor, I don't think that this is an ongoing neighbor issue. However, Mr. Baskins does have 2 more handguns registered to him. If he does bond out, we're going to want him to surrender those handguns. They do live in a duplex, so it does have potential to become a bigger issue.
Hi, Nancy.
I don't think it will, but it does have.
Duplex, that's terrible.
Okay, and can he surrender those guns to the Westland Police Department?
Absolutely.
Okay, sir.
He lives in a duplex and got 6 kids.
Possess any?
But he only lives with 3 of them. I like how he had said it almost like he's living with the kids, but it's his wife and the kids. And I just noticed that because there's a difference. I mean, if you're a grown man,
and two big ass pit bulls,
and a wife and 3 kids, must be a big duplex, I guess.
Oh boy, this is going to turn out well for anybody.
Guns or other dangerous weapons. Any additional guns you may have at your home must be surrendered to the Westland Police Department upon your release. And additionally, you're to have no contact with any of the complaining witnesses. Is all of that clear to you, sir?
Yes.
Court will set bond. Thank you, sir. Court will set bond at $20,000 personal with those bond conditions. Next court dates are probable cause conference March 28th and preliminary exam April 4th, both in 18th District Court in Westland. Anything else for this record?
Not from defense, Judge.
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Why is he in the hospital? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody gonna ask?
Yeah.
He hasn't slept for 4 days. 4 hours a day.
Dog barking. Oh, well, hope that works out for everybody.
Tablet go with the sound.
The sound, Gary.
Looks like we're in a tanning bed, I believe.
That is. Oh, did you hear Will and Dawn? They were on the other day talking about they're going to sell some stuff they have in their basement. And they got a tanning bed down there.
And you've already done the interview, Mr.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jesus Christ.
Ma'am, your name for I'm sorry, I gotta do the swear to. And who's doing the swear to?
Good morning, Your Honor. Detective Gary Cerrone.
There'll be an audio issue here for just a second.
Case 82-24-705-756, State of Michigan versus Kyla Joyce Adams. And the swear or affirm.
And apparently a mini Creed frame as well.
I like that they're making her hold the tablet.
Waka.
Hold that tablet.
Detective, that the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true.
Yes, I do.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
No, from the investigation.
Garfield.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. On March 15th of this year, approximately 2:56 p.m.,
that's the audio issue I was talking about.
What do you mean? Sounds great.
They'll fix it in a sec.
For a fight in progress and shots fired inside the mall.
Shots fired inside the mall.
Subjects involved had entered a silver Dodge pickup, which was located and stopped by officers outside of the mall. 2 subjects were inside the Dodge Ram. One being Kyla Adams, who was seated in the front passenger seat with baby in her arms. Responding officers at the mall were directed toward the MK Boutique, where the fight had occurred. Their security officer turned over a spent 440 caliber shell casing that he located on the ground. There were no shooting victims located or identified. While speaking with witness, the one screen to the place, noting that he was a group of victims fighting and
This is bad. That's them, not us.
Yeah.
No.
They're gonna make him hold the tablet in a second.
And recite everything he just said.
Right. There was a shooting inside of a mall.
Yep. Dodge truck, I heard.
Caught her in the truck with holding a kid in her lap.
Yeah.
Okay. So this witness heard the gunshot and then observed the female with the handgun, place it inside of her purse, and then leave in the Dodge Ram with another individual. Several others also stated that they heard the gunshot during the altercation, which ultimately stopped the fight and caused people to disperse from the location. During the investigation, 2 cell phone videos were reviewed, which captured the incident as it occurred. Both showed Kyla Adams, while holding a baby in her arms, obtaining a handgun from her purse and discharged 1 round into the ground.
With a baby in her. Good God.
Got a pew-pew in one hand and a baby in the other.
The altercation. The gunshot appeared to be intentional, but without malice. Inventory search of the Dodge Ram was conducted, during which time a black Smith & Wesson 40 caliber handgun was discovered and seized. Adams was subsequently arrested and transported to the Dearborn Police Station. During the in-custody interview of Adams, she admitted to firing the weapon and stated that the cell phone videos were accurate.
Yep, that's me. Pew pew suit, 5 bones in the PP, baby.
That was 5 proper hallelujahs for you, Pew Pew Suit. Thank you. The pants, no pants, no problem. Express today, Pew Pew Suit. It's all you.
Probable cause to sign the warrant. And ma'am, your name for the record, please.
Kyla Adams.
Thank you. And Mr. Reagan.
Your Honor, Phil Braid on behalf of Ms. Adams, who waived the formal reading, stand mute. She has been advised of her rights, Judge.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Judge, my client's 24, Judge, no prior history. To my knowledge, Judge works at Amazon warehouse, has 2 children. She's a high school graduate, lives in the city of Detroit, has so her entire life, has strong ties to the community, Your Honor. You know, Judge, I'm listening to the PC in terms of what the actual charge is, discharge in or at a building. And it seems as though, you know, there was a fight. She allegedly pulled a gun out, shot into the ground to try to disperse him, not with any malice, as a good brother officer said. So I'm not, you know, I don't.
Maybe she was just a bad
I'm
shot.
not sure if count 1 fits with the actual description, but Judge, regardless, no guns whatsoever. Obviously, she cannot possess any guns as a condition of whatever bond the court does set. I'm respectfully asking.
Kieran, thank you for the $2 for the premature gun discharge fee.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, like she was dispersing a crowd in the mall. Now, this was inside the mall, not the parking lot, in the mall.
Having the baby on your lap is just, there's no excuse for that. And Phil, of course, great grandson of Ronald. I don't know how you can sit there with a straight face.
He spins things so ridiculously. He's something else.
I don't think I don't think I could. I really don't.
But to set a personal bond with the condition of absolute.
Yeah, this person's a piece of shit for having a kid on her lap.
I can't believe this.
She graduated high school, so lived around here. Life, please.
No weapons. She doesn't have a history of weapons, to my knowledge, Judge. So I'm hoping this is a isolated incident, allegedly. So I'm asking the court respectfully to consider personal bond.
What?
Mr. Ray.
He just said that with a straight face too.
PR bond, please.
Yeah, just let her out. She's fine.
And I trust that at some point in your lifetime you may have shopped at Fairlane Town Center.
I have. I have.
You would agree with me that that is a building, sir?
I'm sorry, within Fairlane Town Center? I'm sorry, I thought we were inside of Fairlane.
Hi, Jay.
That's my understanding.
I thought we were outside. That's my mistake, Your Honor. I couldn't hear everything that because of the
I thought it was outside.
Of it, and I apologize, but I thank the court for correcting me, Judge. And yeah, that does make sense that we're inside of Fairlane Town Center. That is correct.
Yeah, what doesn't make sense is shooting guns inside of Fairlane Town Center.
Never does, Judge. Never does.
If there were any validity to, the NRA's claim that a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun, Miss Adams could have found herself getting shot by some other third-party citizen when she discharged her firearm. It's just not a good thing. I'm really disinclined toward giving her a personal bond in this case, to be firing a gun inside of a shopping mall.
Well, Judge, I'm thinking
what are her work hours?
Does she works? What are your work? You work at Amazon warehouse. What are your hours, Miss Adams?
10-hour shifts. 7:30 in the morning to 6 in the evening.
Goodness.
7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Judge, and again, I think it's isolated. I think without the weapon, if you remove the weapon from her presence, then that it doesn't become an issue. If she had like a history of this, Judge, I would be more inclined. But I think it was,
if you take the weapon out,
If you take the weapon out of it, she just pointed at the floor and walked out on the baby. I mean, she's holding the baby and pewing into the floor. I mean, this was inches away from somebody being shot.
if you take the complete pew pew out of the situation, like attorney just mentioned, then I don't think that we would be here.
No, absolutely.
alleged dumb mistake to try to clear it out, and it could have been, worse, but it wasn't, Judge.
A dumb mistake. You thought about that.
She understands the seriousness of it. She's been sitting in jail a few days, having to think about it and be away from her kids. And jail is a real option, Judge. If this situation doesn't correct itself, so I don't think she is a threat, Judge. I think if you tell her no contact with guns, I don't think she'll have it.
No contact with guns.
Thank you, Detective. Do you have any input?
Well, your discretion. Does not have any criminal history.
Sounds good.
Can't hear it. Yes, absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, man. While this case is pending, you are not to possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons. You have no contact with Fairlane Town Center. You will be on a GPS tether. Curfew on that tether will be 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. And that'll give you an hour each way to get to and from work. I'm really hesitant on this, but I want to give you a personal bond.
What?
$25,000 personal.
Oh, 45 G's personal.
March 26th for probable cause conference, April 2nd for preliminary exam, both in 19th District Court in Dearborn. Anything else for this record?
It's pretty bad. The judge says I'm very hesitant. Very hesitant to do this.
It's bad, man. I'm no judge, but that's
Reagan with the win.
Yeah, are you ready on
Seriously.
Ready, Your Honor.
All right.
Stay with the mall, yeah. Any restitutions for the mall? I mean, she had to mess up the floor, right? Or is it full of like bullet holes?
It's probably
already.
Let's be honest, this is outside of Detroit.
It's pockmarked. It's terrible. Especially with no ricochet. Somebody got, pew-pewed. Yeah, you were right, Big Booty. You're right. I'm very surprised, though, to be honest.
Yes. Okay. This will be case 82-24-705-737, State of Michigan versus Bradley Edward Berry. Your name for the record, please.
Sergeant Nathan Moshinsky.
Surely we can't get worse than
affirm the testimony
last
you'll
one.
provide in this matter will be true.
Yes, sir.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
A little of both.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
Your Honor, on March 14, 2024 at 9:07 p.m.
Day after my
Officer
birthday.
Wasakanis and Officer Brown were dispatched to 15651 Trenton Road. That's the MJR movie theater located in the city of Southgate, County of Wayne, for a disorderly person.
What movie was that?
Dispatch stated that an individual named Bradley Berry was intoxicated and refusing to leave the business. Officers arrived on scene and made contact with an MJR employee identified as Brenna Feichel. Brenna showed officers to Theater 16, where the theater was cleared out except for one white male identified as Bradley Berry, who was passed out in a recliner theater seat. The officers made contact with Bradley, who was completely passed out with his pants unzipped. His pants were a quarter way down, and Bradley's penis was exposed.
Oh, was it big?
Was it hard?
Also observed on the table next to Bradley,
Flaccid?
about a foot away from him, a glass container, clear container containing a white powdery substance, which was suspected cocaine, and 2 open bottles of Fireball whiskey. There was a rolled up dollar bill next to a white powder narcotic residue and a razor.
All right, so we're at the movie theater. We're drinking Fireball. We're snorting up some coke.
He was excited to be there, man. Wow, that's I mean, this is what a theater. Not only is there already 16 screens, which I'm very impressed about because he was in theater 16, but he's the recliner ones, yeah, the really good ones. He got way too comfortable. Got his wang out, started doing coke, killing some Fireball.
I would absolutely love to know what the movie was now at this point. I hear theater and hear penis exposed and such. I think of like an adult theater, but it wasn't at all.
Yeah, obviously not with 16 screens already.
World's
biggest adult theater.
I was kind of on pins and needles there, thinking we are gonna have like a pump of some sort or something, or like that one toy that Bishop actually broke because he used it so much.
Yeah.
Bradley. Wow. Coke, Fireball. Movies.
Yeah, this whole day playing.
A piece of glass that had white powdery substance on it, all next to Bradley. Those powdery substances were appeared to have been in lines of cocaine. They were sectioned into lines.
Didn't get to finish.
Officer Wasakanis woke up Bradley, and Bradley appeared to be highly intoxicated. He had bloodshot eyes, his speech was slurred, and he smelled of intoxicants. Officer Brown and Officer Wasakanis asked Bradley to stand up. While they asked him to stand up, Bradley stated that all of those things observed on the table belonged to him. Officer Wasakanis went to place Bradley under arrest for public intoxication and possession of a controlled substance, and possession of narcotic paraphernalia, at which time Officer Wasakanis pulled out his handcuffs and told Bradley to put his hands behind his back. At
that point, he became even more erect with the.
This is a nice theater. They got their own little tables and stuff. And man, come on, this is nice. Damn, Bradley, you're gonna ruin it for everybody.
Arm was behind his back when Bradley immediately pulled away from Officer Wasakanis, tucking his arms into his front waistline. Officer Wasakanis gave verbal commands that he was under arrest, and Bradley continued to resist arrest by tensing up his arms, keeping his arms tucked underneath his body. Officer Brown and Officer Wasakanis had to use physical muscling techniques and joint lock techniques to get Bradley's hands behind his back, but those were also ineffective. Officer Wasakanis gave verbal warning that he was going to get sprayed with OC spray because of his hands in a waistline and not knowing that the defendant was armed at the time. Officer Wasakanis did spray Mr. Berry in the face with a burst of OC spray to gain compliance. And Mr. Berry was taken into custody. Officer Wasakanis made contact with the MJR employee, Brenna Feichel, who stated she witnessed Bradley passed out and his penis exposed while he was passed out.
Oh my God. What a story, Bradley. Tiny Piggy, thank you. Can you both wish Shadow Knight Wolf?
Shadow Knight Wolf.
Shadow Knight Wolf.
Is that our same friend Shadow? The same person? If so, I love Shadow Knight. How old is Shadow?
Happy birthday, Shadow Knight. With 2 F's, Wolf.
Happy birthday!
I mean, this is a crazy situation. Not only did he put up a hell of a fight, he got maced. Sprayed down.
Straight to the face.
Right in the face.
Oh, Bradley.
Ms. Feichel said that other patrons advised her that a male was passed out with his penis exposed in the theater 16.
Thank you, officer. I do
16, 12, and 9 all had the same thing going on.
Yeah. And if we can get Mr. Berry in, we'll give him a ring.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
At least he woke up and had a little fight in him.
Let's see this bad mother effer. I'm picturing a huge bodybuilder type. They said they had to use some muscle tactics on him. Shoved his hands down the front of his pants, protecting his wang. Oh, hello.
You're gonna have a seat right here, sir.
Shadow, did you change your name?
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Please.
This guy?
Brother Edward Berry.
Oh,
Thank you. And this would be case 20, I'm sorry.
All right, let's hear Reagan's take on this one.
State of Michigan versus Bradley Edward Berry, counsel.
Your Honor, Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Berry, waive the formal written stamp duty. He's been advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Ask the bond, please.
My client's 38 years of age, 2 kids. Judge, he lives in the Metro Detroit area in Southgate. He's employed gainfully. Goes to work every day. I don't think that Mr. Berry is an assaulted person, Judge. I think Mr. Berry.
Gary? Thank you.
Gary, where are you?
Guys in the truck, let's one button at a time today. It's Monday.
Fat finger.
Drinking man.
He's a drinking man.
The court puts in place no alcohol whatsoever, no alcohol, no illegal substances. I think that would be a good condition of bond, Judge, and I think that would help, because without those things, Judge, I don't think we're here, to be honest.
Drinking man.
I wish, and these are just allegations, Judge, and none of this stuff has actually been proven, but I know the court, that's all the court has to go by is allegations in the investigator's report. So no possession of any drugs, no alcohol, and I'm asking for a personal bond for Mr. Berry. I do understand that he does have a warrant in Southgate for a public public drunk in this case. He has to deal with that case, Judge. But I think that
just a drinking man,
a triggering,
just a drinking man, Judge,
in what's going on, and I'm praying that Mr. Berry understands that he can get some help and not be back in this situation again, Judge.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the allegations are not assaultive. They are bizarre, to say the least. And what's you said your client's employed?
Yeah, he works at CL Rickoff, Your Honor, and makes a good living, supports his family. But again, Judge, the alcohol, I think, based on what the allegations are, is what the underlying cause of this is. Without the alcohol, then we don't have it. Mr. Berry is not here.
Have any thoughts on alcohol status, counsel?
Well, you know my thoughts, Your Honor. I think that the least restrictive medical bond is appropriate, but I understand the court's position as well. I do understand that. And quite frankly, Judge, I want, what's best for Mr. Berry. I don't want him incarcerated, but I do want him to understand that if the allegations are true, and they're just allegations, that they're very, serious, and that alcohol, has to stop. It has to stop because it's controlling his life. It's controlling what happens and where he ends up. And I think it can affect him and it can affect others as well. So I think that we leave it to the court, Judge, but I'm always want the least amount of restrictive measure for my client, Judge.
I mean, I guess my concern is, if he had not been arrested.
I got Supreme. I'm working on it. I told the guys in the truck. I'm working on it. Is he going to get is he going to be pretty lenient on this one? I mean, we just had a mom fire off a pew-pew with a baby in her hand and she got a PR.
I'm just surprised that he hasn't brought up the cocaine at all and his wang being out.
Well, Judge.
He's a drinking man, Judge.
Judge likes the coke. It's fine.
What about all that coke he had? He cut up and ready to go.
Forgot about that. And there is a part where we're in public and it's out. We're in a area where there could be under 18s things.
He got up after the feature presentation, shall we say, and then drove a vehicle.
Does that mean when he got done, or do we mean when the movie was over? I'm not sure either. It could go for both, really. Think about it.
In the condition he's alleged to have been in, it could have caused some very serious problems for the rest of the community. So this is what I'll do, sir. While this case is pending, you're not to use alcohol at any time, no marijuana, no illegal drugs of any sort, including cocaine. Is that clear to you, sir?
Yes.
Also, you're to have no contact with the MJR movie theater. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
To assist you with the no alcohol provision, I'm going to put you on an alcohol tether, and bond will be set at $10,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause.
Another PR.
28th. Preliminary exam April 5th, both in 28th District Court in Southgate. Anything else for this record?
Not from defense,
Your
Judge.
Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Is that alcohol tether through Wayne County?
Yes.
Okay, so he will have to be transported down there. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
I mean, the tether is a bitch, obviously, if you're an alcoholic.
I like that he just asked the copy system, said, do I have a bond or do I not have a bond? I wasn't listening. What did he
probably
say?
still drunk.
Okay.
I'm kind of still tore up.
Looks like we got two from Canton coming, Phil.
Sorry, I went to the movies last night also.
I sat next to this guy, and it was the worst experience of my life. I need a refund. Would you ask for a refund if somebody was doing all that next to you?
Yes, my God, yes. After taking video.
After I thought it was after joining in.
Oh, yes, after jumping right in.
Let me get some of that. Shall you? While we're waiting for the next person to roll up, do us a favor, hit the like button if you would. I know there's 260 people around. Appreciate that.
Allegedly, we're not sure what he did before he passed out.
And Judge had a good point. If he'd have got up and left the theater, tore up like that, mama.
We have with us today.
I'm Detective Alltime with Canton Township PD, and in front of you, Your Honor, you have Mr. Richard O'Connor.
Dick O'Connor.
Thank you.
Good morning to you.
Case 82-24-705-758, State of Michigan versus Richard Allen O'Connor. Detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Corey Alltime, Canton Township Police Department.
Welcome, Amanda.
And swear
Good
or
to see you.
affirm the testimony you'll provide in this matter will be true.
Yes, sir.
And are you testifying from personal knowledge or from an investigative report?
First party knowledge. It's my investigator's report, sir.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
All right. On March 16th, 2024, at approximately 1:17 a.m., Officer McCammon of Canton Police Department conducted a traffic stop on a gray Chevy Equinox for weaving within its lane, traveling well under the speed limit, and making abrupt driving maneuvers. So showing signs of intoxication potentially. After stopping the vehicle, Officer McCammon made contact with the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, Mr. Richard O'Connor. Officer McCammon observed signs of intoxication, including slurred speech and the odor of intoxicants.
Officer McCammon
then had Mr. O'Connor step out of the vehicle and submit to field sobriety tasks. During the horizontal gaze nystagmus task, Officer McCammon observed 4 clues. During the walk and turn task, Officer McCammon observed 7 clues. And during the one leg stand task, 3 clues were observed, indicating Mr. O'Connor's level of intoxication. Mr. O'Connor was subsequently arrested.
Lots of clues, bro.
He was brought back to the Canton Police Department. He was read his chemical test rights, and he consented to a breath test. He gave 2 samples, the first of which resulted in a BAC of 0.15, and the second a BAC of 0.17.
Not bad for an Irishman.
In regards to it being a third
Doubled up.
offense notice, there are 2 prior convictions on Mr. O'Connor's CCH.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant. And sir, your name for the record, please.
Richard Allen O'Connor.
Thank you. And Mr. Reagan.
Your Honor, Reagan, on behalf of Mr. O'Connor, waiver for reading stamp duty has been advised of his rights.
Hi, Leslie.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Judge is 54, no assaultive history. Obviously, as the court can see, Judge, he has some prior OWI situations. He's employed a Detroit diesel judge. And, I'm going to be forthright with the court, Judge. Up until the other day, Judge, for the last 3 years, he hasn't had one drink whatsoever. Not one drink, Judge. He went through some situations years ago where he separated from his family. He went to rehab, got sober, got a great job, got even a better job after that, Judge. Has been doing great. Actually moved back in with the wife this past year. They reconciled. Some things happened over Christmas, Judge, that were questionable about some things that he discovered. He's actually going through therapy right now. And Judge, the other
What
day,
did you discover over Christmas? Please do tell.
Had to be, right? Come on.
He had to have discovered what? Something good like meth?
He discovered drinking again, Your Honor. Loves it.
Yes. If it wasn't for the drinking, everything would be fine. You take the alcohol out of it, Your Honor. We got nothing to see here.
he just happened to let me be forthright.
Oh.
He had one, then maybe two. And I think he understands that this is one day at a time. But for the last 3 years, Judge, he's been completely clean. And I understand that alcoholism is a disease, and you have to take it one day at a time, Judge. He's going to Alcoholics Anonymous, been doing certain things, and I look at, and I would ask the court to look at the fact that I don't believe his last OWI has been recent. I don't have the investigator's report. I don't have a lot of information, but and just talking to Mr. O'Connor, I think he's very sincere about it. He's very apologetic about it, but like he said, there are consequences to actions. He said that, and he understands more than anybody, Judge, having to deal with this on an everyday basis, and it's not easy. But I don't think he should be incarcerated, Judge. I would ask you to release him on a personal bond, but I know there will be conditions with that personal bond. I understand that based on what the charges are, but I just ask you to take all that in consideration when setting bond, Judge.
Okay. Yeah, the alleged BACs are 0.15 and 0.17, which are obviously very high. And this is third hop around on this, even though the other ones seem to be very old, 94 and 03.
Yep.
And I certainly commend Mr. O'Connor for the period of sobriety that you indicated. And I wish him the best in getting a handle on this, but at the same time, blood alcohol levels that high, third time around, I've got to, I don't have a problem with a personal bond, but I think we're going to have to alcohol tether to help him regain his sobriety.
Another one.
And hopefully that, along with other programs that he may have available to him, hopefully he can get back to a sober state. All right, bond's going to be $10,000 personal. No use of any alcohol, Mr. O'Connor. You will have an alcohol tether. And probable cause conference is April 1st in person and April 5th. And those are both going to be in 35th District Court in Canton. Anything else for this record?
Not from defense, Your Honor.
Right.
Nothing from the PD, Your Honor.
All right,
believe
thank
that.
you. And then we've
Another
got
one.
a Jeffrey Rubley, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, this one's here for murder and might get a PR bond.
Mike, the next guy.
That's what I'm thinking because
Bring in-
it's killing it today.
Third offense is usually I know I watched a case today where it was a third offense and that's a felony. That's
Right.
State of Michigan versus Jeffrey John Rubley II. Detective, your name for the record, please.
Third strike, you're out.
Detective Corey Altine, Canton Township Police. My investigative report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Feel free to proceed.
All right. On March 16th, 2024, at approximately 1:45 a.m., Officer Penhaligon of Canton Police Department conducted a traffic stop on a blue Mazda CX-5.
That's a good question, Sweet Tea. I would imagine that's where it would be implemented. I think that's I would think in the vehicle.
Yeah, it's usually the old blowy, right? the blowing interlock
violation near the parking lot of the Comfort Suites Hotel here in Canton. Officer Penhaligon approached the vehicle. He met with the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, Mr. Jeffrey Rubley. Mr. Rubley readily admitted that he did not have a valid license. He was driving on a revoked license due to what he stated were prior OWI.
Yeah, good point. But the ones that are in for driving while drinking, I think would. I don't know how it works.
There's the tether that measures like the sweat, the alcohol, and then there's an interlock that goes on. But there's also one that you have to blow into, because I watched a case today where a lady lost hers. She said that she had lost hers. That's why she didn't do the old blowy, because she had lost it. It was stolen from her.
By conviction at the time. His license was confirmed in lien as revoked. Rubley, Officer Penhaligon noted that Mr. Rubley was initially evasive during questioning and stated that he was just visiting a friend at the nearby hotel. When Officer Penhaligon ran Mr. Rubley's license through lien to confirm the revocation, he noticed that it was not due to OWI convictions, but that it was actually revoked due to controlled substance violations. Officer Penhaligon then asked Mr. Rubley about any narcotics in the vehicle, and he replied that there shouldn't be. Officer Penhaligon then asked for a canine officer to come to the scene to do a free air sniff of Mr. Rubley's vehicle. Officer Trosper of Westland Police Department made his way to the scene with his canine partner, Rio.
His name was Rio.
Trosper did advise Officer Penhaligon that his canine partner indicated for the presence of narcotics within the vehicle. Officer Trosper, Officer Penhaligon, and Officer Selesky of Camp Police Department, who arrived on scene shortly after, then removed Mr. Rubley from his vehicle and began to search it. Throughout the search of the vehicle, in particular, they found a blue duffel bag and 2 gray backpacks within the vehicle. And after searching those bags, they found in total
a dildo
across the bags in the vehicle. They found several suspected crack cocaine pipes, several small baggies that are believed to be used for the packaging of narcotics,
party time,
an electronic weight scale with white residue on it, a hammer with white residue on it, and
please hammer, don't hurt them.
Made out to approximately 80 grams of methamphetamine, suspected methamphetamine.
How many grams? 80?
Was located as well. The suspected methamphetamine substances were field tested utilizing a TrueNarc device. The TrueNarc scans of the substances showed the presence of methamphetamine.
Thank you. I do find probable cause to sign the warrant. Mr. Rubley, your name for the record, please.
Jeffrey John Rubley II.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Reagan.
Your Honor, Philip Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Rubley, would waive the formal reading stand mute. He has been advised of his rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
Judge, as to bond, Mr. Rubley is 47 years of age, Judge, no assaultive history, works at Monroe County Community College, runs an upper bound program, Judge, there for high school kids, Judge.
What?
Whoa.
Whoa. He runs he's a teacher at the community college that runs a program, outward bound program for troubled teenagers.
Then he's doing great. Killing it.
Oh, we know he's selling it to.
No shit.
Monroe area. Judge, obviously, you know, the concern for the court may be either narcotics and or alcohol or substances that may be affecting Mr. Rubley, Judge. I would ask, I don't think he's a threat to the community per se. I'd ask for him to be released on a personal bond, whatever conditions the court wish to set. You know, and I think obviously these are allegations, Judge. He's going to go through the process, but I am asking for personal bond. It's not assault.
I 100% relying on the fact that it doesn't have any assaultive behavior.
Yeah,
100%. I'm like, that's the third one now too.
Where did you say he works again?
Monroe County Community College.
And he runs what kind of a program?
Upper bound. program. It's like a high school program for kids that at-risk kid to try to get them, on the right path for certain.
Perfect man for the job.
And he's been running that program. And that, he goes to work every day, Judge, and he works and he functions. But I do think that the court can provide whatever condition the court can provide to help. I think that a personal bond, though, would be sufficient for him in this case.
Yeah, you have any creative thoughts on what other conditions would be helpful? I mean, I've got a comment here in the investigator's report related to the volume of meth allegedly found, that he indicates to the officer that the meth was for his personal use and that he, quote, buys in bulk, end quote.
Oh, I just got back from Costco.
Yes. For at-risk teenagers looking to go to college.
And Judge, and obviously we only have one side of the story through the investigator's report. I mean, there could be so much more to it. But obviously he has.
I buy in bulk and pass the savings on to the customer, Your Honor.
Now, when he talks to his attorney, I'm sure the attorney will articulate whatever reasons that Mr. Rubley may have, or whatever the situation may be. Because right now we only have one side, Judge. We don't have Mr. Rubley's side.
Right. So again, back to my initial question.
Yes.
I mean, I'd like to see him not buying at all, let alone in bulk.
Oh, absolutely.
How do we accomplish that?
I think that be a condition of bond, Judge, that for right now, and I don't know what the situation was, Judge, but for right now, he can't possess, obviously, because he's being charged with this. He cannot possess any meth, any illegal drugs, any type of non-prescribed drugs by his own physician. And I don't know if some of this stuff was prescribed by a physician. I don't know what, the overall, reasons for it, Judge, but I do know that the court can impose that condition that he just doesn't possess it. He can't possess it. He doesn't have any assaultive history, Judge. I mean, he has some DUI history. I do note that. But, and the amount I understand is concerning when the court sees that amount, Judge. But again, I don't want to, presume to know what the situation was when, I only get one side.
Let's remember he had a meth hammer with him.
The court says
that's right. Yeah, the hammer. I forgot about the hammer.
Situation that could suffice, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rubley, obviously, while this case is pending, you were not to possess any illegal drugs. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You've been running this Upward Bound program. Those kids need you and they need you there sober, right?
Absolutely. Those kids mean the world to me.
Okay. Bond will be set at $10,000 personal. Next court date is April 1 for an in-person probable cause conference and April 5 for preliminary exam. Both those hearings will be in 35th District Court in Canton. Anything else for this record?
Not from defense, Judge.
And
that's it.
Finn.
Unbelievable.
Boy, do the crime in Detroit and don't worry about shit. That's basically what it comes down to today.
We'll let you out.
I mean,
I don't. How could this guy not be under like a $500,000 bond?
I don't know. I mean, is it a matter of they see so many crazy cases every single day because we're talking about a high crime big city? I don't know. I mean, seriously, I
don't know anymore. Detroit is on its own.
Yeah,
it's an island unto itself, I guess. I don't know, because that's ridiculous. I just don't see it. But
now, one thing I do see from the beginning of this to the end, I see why Reagan there says what he does with a straight face, because it's working. I mean, it's working. Everything that he's saying. I mean, the judge I was like, oh boy, the judge is really going to say something about this when he asked to reiterate about where he worked and with who and doing what. And then it was just kind of like, okay, just wanted to make sure.
And then the guy's like, I love my kids. They mean the world to me. Without them, I couldn't pay my bills. Literally. Without them, I couldn't pay my bills.
Everybody has a right, to a fair trial. Everybody innocent till proven guilty. But at the same time,
I mean, he admitted it belonged to him. He buys in bulk for personal use.
Right. I know.
Who doesn't want a meth head taking care of the outward bound children that are already in trouble, already dealing with stuff, and this is the guy that's overseeing them? I hope he loses his job, be honest with you.
Well, I would imagine that he would, but who knows?
Shit, who knows?
Wow. All right. Well, that is today's We Got a Case. We got a premiere today.
Yeah, happening at 3 p.m. about an hour from now. Judge Washington deals with a guy who I believe his metaphor for how smart he is. He says he's not the sharpest cookie, on the street or something like that. It's just like the metaphor is completely messed up. You'll hear what he did, as well as confusing the judge. And we got a guy who has another 3-striker for drinking, and that and a whole bunch more. Make sure you're there for all the Judge Washington excitement with Miss Beautiful McDuffie as well.
And we'll be back 4:05 East for We Got a Chase, and then members only for
right.
We Got a Chase, right? Yes.
Yep. Well, Darren, We Got a Chase. We'll be covering a chase we missed the other night that ends in a fireball, we'll say. Ooh. So make sure you're there for that. Much more coming your way today.
The No Pants, No Effing Problem Express. PR Bond, you're fine.
PR Bond, you're all right, bud.
PP Sue, thank you for the PP. Kierna, thank you. Tiny Piggy, happy birthday to Shadow. And Gary. Oh, and Chris, I guess.
Gary, where are you?
Oh, look at Chris. No last minute gifter.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Chris, you got a special hallelujah today.
Again, the guys in the truck going crazy. It's Monday. They're knocking the rust off. Yesterday was Pass's birthday. A late birthday to Pass.
I saw that. I meant to say that today too. Happy birthday. I hope it was a good one. I saw on Discord.
Guys in the truck, what are y'all doing?
Wow. Are we all drinking and doing meth and coke and have our weighing out today?
You'll start me drinking.
Right. Might want to start drinking, actually.
Won't get in no trouble. All right, guys, we love y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is a reaction video. If you don't like this, you don't like hearing us talk, you don't want to hear our take on everything, then I'm sorry about that, Pass. Then go and watch the videos that don't have us in it. Tons of those as well. A little bit of something for everybody. Till then, stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned, and stay watching out for these guys in the truck.
Listen, budget cuts. I don't know what to tell you. And what's worse, Pass's son ruining the birthday, or Texas Roadhouse ruining Mikey's?
Oh, jeez. Both are atrocities.